What up, everybody? This is Granblue Radio number 364. Um, well, we talked about this before, and it's here. Um, Shirokarte's Knick-Knack Academy, DJ. It
Yeah, it's
happened.
great. I
Um,
slowly finished my missions.
which one are you not done with yet?
Fight the solo fights,
Okay, so we
the
can
ones that
talk
were
about.
never moved from raids to solo fights.
Okay, yeah. So, we can go talk about just some of the many steps, but the Knick-Knack Academy is here. It has 7 stages of tutorial in 6 different elements, and I don't know if I can look at previous um, ones, but there's a big training manual. Yeah, there's a huge manual for all of the things that you're supposed to do. So it does everything from like how to fight Gilgamesh here, um, how to fight Hector, like what awakening levels are.
Yeah,
Uh,
so on the
yeah,
wiki they actually have all the steps on there, and
yeah.
also your rewards from it. You get a lot of rewards from
There's
this.
what, like 100 something weapons that you get from this mode once you're done with it,
Yeah, and
and you
they
get
they thank God they go to your unlimited stash instead of the
time limited.
limited time one.
Yeah, but you get like the was it the level 75 version of each Arcarm summon by the end of this? You get
Probably. Let's see here. Stage 4 of fire is to obtain the summons.
okay,
It
and
gives
then
you
you
two globe stairways and 30,000 rank points. You get something for you get a vessel for uncapping them once.
hmm
They're not fully done with writing this out because you have to figure out what was the previous rewards.
yeah, yeah, but you get a huge amount of stuff. Like you get a 4-star summon of each Magna. You get Nobio, who is one of the best free summons in the game for beginners. Like that doesn't involve
Yeah,
collapse.
they have you do that request,
You get one of each Carbuncle at 3 stars, and
which is
that's
really
also
helpful early game.
yeah. Even in like the early late game, it's still very good.
Well, late
Like
game you
yeah,
have a billion of them.
yeah. Um, but like the weapons that they give you are very useful. Especially like looking at wins made people question themselves a bit. You get 2 Coruscant Croziers, which some people spent a very long time getting.
I just
Present,
finished my fourth before this.
yeah, present company included. Um, you get a bunch of like the upgraded Xeno weapons, especially if you go into light. The Xeno weapons are extremely good here. So you have yourself a main hand True Purity Sunblade. It gives you all of the swords you could possibly need. Like I've actually taken this exact grid basically into like the hexachromatic hierarch. It works out all right. Like yeah, the
I'm pretty sure you don't have
the summons.
no, I'm pretty sure you don't have the Bahamut weapon.
Yeah, the Bahamut weapon and the Harp of the Teachers. But like a good freaking like 60% of this grid is late game viable.
Yeah, you also have characters joining your crew as part of your missions.
Yeah. And so free to play players can now include so it's UL, Lily, Alethea, who is also late game like super late game viable.
Hey, Yoel's being used in a lot of late game stuff, but that's for a different
Yeah.
reason.
UL for damage, Alethea for utility. Um, Wins was Madara, right? Yeah.
And easy
Al
skill damage is easy.
yeah, Albert and then Narmea. And those are for like early um parts of this mode. And then at the very end you get a grand character of your choice out of the well, 5 of them are main crew and then the 6th one is fairy because they needed somebody in dark. But this is one of the biggest undertakings they've made to modernize Granblue Fantasy, It has a hugely helpful guide rail that brings you basically to the point where you can do like Shiva on your own, and you can start looking at, doing things like the mid-level difficult raids in this game. So you like, let me take a look. You're basically ready for Lindworm. You're ready for the Magna threes, two of more of which are coming in the next week. So you're ready for the Malices. You are definitely ready for the dragons. You're pretty much ready for the old Dark Rapture hard, like this level here. You're pretty much ready. You're pretty close to being ready for Beelzebub and Belial. Like it brings you most of the way there, and
Yep, and it also gives you like good goals to actually do.
yeah, and not only that, it teaches you not only how to build a grid, but also has a very important thing is not only does it give you the stuff, it gives you a single button that says, "Hey, equip this stuff that looks like this," and so it gets rid of a lot of the tedium of building a grid for yourself. And there are, multiple steps of this, so it is huge, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. One thing to note is that people have been going back and finding out some of the more annoying parts of old side stories with this, and so there's still a little bit of updating to do. Like, they were still having to do the Together in Song
I don't know.
puzzle fight.
I literally read the instructions and I did it on first
Uh,
try. It
there
was
was,
pretty straightforward, actually.
yeah. No Rain, No Rainbow actually reminded people that some of these puzzle fights are unupdated for modern Granblue Fantasy. No Rain, No Rainbow. I think I was talking about this last night. You have to do something different from the old guide because Albert has been redesigned since the original run of No Rain, No Rainbow. Where did that go? No Rain, No Rainbow. There it is. The tackle drill for Albert of doing a bunch of skill damage. It is different from when we originally did this. Everything else is the same. These are fine. But yeah.
I mean, remember they a long time ago they had to remember to remove our captain buffs.
Yes. And a few things like that. They made a few um, side stories easier in this update as well, where it was like, where was it? It was in
I remember it
updates
being written on
for.
that dates.
Yeah, it was in the maintenance completion one, all the way at the bottom somewhere. Eye of the Storm. So uh, Aqua's Sky High, Door to the Skies. So those collabs. Dinner at the Turned Table. Which one's Dinner at the Turned Table? Do you remember that?
Someone might remember. Hold on.
It's Princess Connect. Okay. And then Blue Reckoning is Code Geass. So a bunch of the collab stuff to get you early game good stuff.
Yeah, wait, isn't all these collabs? Yeah.
Eye of the Storm is an Albert event, isn't it?
I mean that one had to be changed because Albert.
Yeah. So 4 collabs and Eye of the Storm. But yeah, like this has been an amazing update. I can now once again like the wiki people were talking about this as well. We're like we can retire. We don't have to just like write entire swaths of outside of the game advice for new players. We can just say play the game. The game will teach you how to play the game. Like the new guide to V2 battles is actually also really nice.
I just find it funny that you say it on
Given
as your first
that
guide.
he's a popular character though, and it's in character for him to just like hold back and just sort of play around. So
Yeah,
I
but only
understand
his
why they
fight
did it.
was like half of the stuff was blockable. No, half this stuff is not blockable.
Cien Mil can be blocked, can't it? Or is it only the other
The
one?
only one
Espada?
that can be blocked is the one that he immediately
Emblem.
casts and not wait a turn from
Right.
Emblem.
Okay. So anyway, there's that. Um, we added Ascendant Prayer. Ascendant Prayer has different effects on each of the things. Uh, I do find it funny that Seophon is unchanged with his Ascendant Prayer, just because when you turn on the Ascendant Prayer, like the act of hitting the attack button will just break all of his omens, and you just don't have to care anymore. The
That's
Ascendant
pretty
Prayer for
funny.
the other ones is pretty funny to read, though. So, like, the funniest one is the Cosmos Ascendant Prayer, where if you have a bunch of extra skill damage, then even your skill damage will turn Cosmos to the red, and she'll just final detonation like every other turn or every turn. But it doesn't matter as much anyway because you only take 30,000 damage and you have like 300,000 health anyway. So you just kill her.
Well, does she still have her auto kill you button though at
No,
3 stacks?
no,
That's the difference.
yeah. She'll just do 30,000 to you and move on, and you'll just move on. Um, let's see here. Anything else about the Ascendant Prayer to note? Not really. Like, it's something that people have wanted for a while. This is one of the earlier implementations of it. Uh, Even though like the raids themselves are 2 years old, they finished 1 year ago. 1 year ago, because that was when Seophon finished it out. But there is it is less onerous to host these than the other ones because it's like centrums, anima, and jewels instead of pinions and halos and things like that. So cool, good set of features for people coming in and trying to bridge the gap from early to mid to late. Um, I think that's it about this mode. All right, moving on. So we had a returning event, Rise of the Beasts, and we had a huge number of updates to this one to try and bring this into a much more convenient state and bring it into sort of the modern design and make it relevant. So number one, let's just go down the list of what they did to this when they added Rise of the Beast. So changes from previous. Number one, new character. We'll get to her in a second.
Yep, double axe.
Yeah. Second thing, new wonder. We'll get to that in a second because it's tied into the new character Chichiri. But let's go to changes from last time. Number one, we've got a sand now that we can pick up from 4 symbols stones. So that's nice. That is one of the ways to keep people going at this. Like, there's a guaranteed sand for just hitting Shenshan a bunch of times. You don't even need to like farm or anything. You just need to join and press A button at all, and it'll come to you.
Well, you're gonna need to do a lot if you want to speed up the process. So yeah.
Um, the let's see other changes. There's so much text in this. Changes from the previous run. Here we go. So they took away 3 of the solo battles, the ones that people didn't do anymore,
And you
because
literally did not touch those.
yeah, because at this point of the game, even people who are new, once they go through like a couple levels of Shero's Knick-Knack Academy, will be able to solo Extreme Plus very easily. Speaking of that, well, not Extreme, solo Extreme, not Extreme Plus. Extreme Plus, uh, they finally have the Nightmare Stalking, so you can have more than one at a time. Thank God. It's been years overdue. You can take away the pop-up for when you have an Agni or whatever pop up. That's good, fine.
I
They
mean, if you were doing the things the way most other people do with hyper farming, you never see that pop up.
Yeah. Um, you now have 200,000 as your max pendant, so you don't have to hop over to the event page and just buy things as often. So minor convenience. Um, and then the loot for 130 badges is related to the character, so we'll keep moving. Um, we also have the last thing was like more pendants in general from Shenshan. Like so they wanted people to do Shenshan. And one of the reasons is, so do you want to go to the character first or do you want to go to the wonder?
Up to you. Well, I think they're both related. I think you should do the wonder actually.
Yeah, the wonder is pretty easy to look at. So here's the wonder. The first one, in order to get to the wonder, you get to 130 Juque badges. That's all the way at the end here. And there's a new item here called the Masterless Yuppei. And you go and you do that, and you recruit Chichiri. Okay, so here's the full steps. Let's just go in order. Number one, you get the Garnet Broadaxe, the Magna Progression Axe that was useful for quite a while. Now you upgrade it to level 200. If you
And that
already
requires another step of upgrading.
Yes. So you need to get it to 5 stars, and something that they realized that they needed to do is because it costs 20 Zhu Jadites, and not everybody has a billion of them stocked up. They added another 20 to the shop. So good on them for realizing that. It was a day late, but better late than not at all.
A small annoyance was that I had to go out and get Huang Long Anima
Yeah,
twice
that
because
is
I
a.
never 4-starred my axe.
Mmm.
That one I could have barred it if I wanted to. However, the 5-star you cannot bar.
Yeah. And then once that is there, you get the Masterless Yuppei. You cleared the first Fate episode, and you get a base version of the character. She does not have any plus skills, even if you level her to max. And also, you get the Yuppei itself. Um, the Wonder at each level gives you a bunch of a different bonus, and it has 10 levels total. And 1 minute gives it 1 EXP, and you can feed it new drops from this event, the God Feathers and everything like that, in order to give it either 400 or 4,000 XP. And so, in general, with about 50 of the Gold Feather, you feed it there, and you save yourself 139 days of just waiting for this thing to go.
Note, you will want to uncap Chichiri first
Yeah,
before you do that.
yes.
Because the uncapped material is from this event.
So essentially, it is 50 for the Wonder, it is 4 for the character, and then, 4.3 of the big feather. And
However,
so
you can't trade down, so you
yeah,
thankfully the small feather drops in plenty.
yeah. In general, the feather drop was plentiful. That said, it still took a while to get the number I wanted. Like I ended up with like 600 Shenshan joins. Well, 300 Shenshan joins. Um,
I finished mine yesterday.
yeah. But once again, like you don't have to bum rush this. It's just that some people do naturally. They just can't help themselves. Now, that said, so what do you get from this? So you get the following things: 10% fire attack to your fire characters, 10% defense, 5% skill damage, 5% skill damage cap, 5% CA damage, 5% CA damage cap, 5% damage amp, and 5% normal attack damage cap. This is all very noticeable and amazing. And so, like, the Wonder itself, even if you don't max it out during this event, it is very, very much worth getting. And it doesn't say that you cannot use this during Unite and Fight, unlike the Xeno one. So I'm wondering what will happen there. But
Yeah, good question.
yeah, we'll cross that when we get to it because it'll be 2 Unite and Fights from now before we even have to ask the question. Well, before we're faced with the answer is much more accurate there. That said, here's the character. So the character is very easy to get. You just have to actually, join a bunch of raids and you just need to play. You don't need to get particularly lucky at all. You just have to play, basically. There is very little RNG involved in these drops now that the Jadites have been removed from the RNG equation. The Jadites were the part that
That's
sucked.
Well, the bigger RNG is how long it takes for you to get your Long Longs.
Yeah. Although it has been easier and easier over time to pick up Huanglong anima from miscellaneous sources like pendants. You still have the. Admittedly, it does take a while to build up enough the seals to host your own Huanglongs. So that is also true. Thank you for pointing that out because
That's because I
it.
ran into that wall, and
I did not. Yeah.
I had to wait 2 days.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, so here's the character after you get everything. So here's Chichiri. The first thing to note, Emissary of Zhurong's Fire, she gives a 10% bonus to Iron Flame weapon skills. It's only
Which is
10.
the Omega modifier.
Yes. It's Colossus. Things to note, it does stack with Backline Michael. So with the two of them, you get 30%. There is no summon version of this yet, so there's no Willness equivalent for it. So the way that this affects the math is that when Fire gets its Exalto weapon in a week, if things are all the same based on the same numbers that we got from Tiamat and Lumi, then she will, if you choose to go single Colossus, she will cut one and exactly one Exalto weapon from your grid if you want to activate all the 280% skills. So it's 4 Exaltos, your 170% Colossus, and Michael and her. That adds up to 280. But even
Thankfully,
even
she's
without
pretty good frontline.
even without that though, she's pretty good. So that's there. Um, the Sparks Will Fly makes me wonder what they're going with this, where she's more likely to be targeted, but has no defense on her own. None of her skills have any defense, and her unique row over here is all skill damage. That said, she
Well,
does.
the rest exists, so there's
Yeah.
that.
So she's more likely to be targeted, and when she takes damage, it's not when she's targeted. She'll deal a 4-hit nuke and get 15% meter. And then Duress, as you mentioned, over here, uh, she turns off their normal attacks or special attacks for 1 turn,
Quote unquote
extendable,
1 turn.
extendable with Frau. Either backline Frau makes it 2 turns, or frontline Frau without her passive makes it 2 turns, or back to front makes it 3 turns. And
Oh
so,
no, if she somehow got back to front, uh, is, you have to find a way to kill the fourth character,
mhm,
and the easiest way to do that is dark slot
mhm.
and deathing them.
The second easiest is Ragazzo, if you have him.
Yeah, but he's on 1 turn.
It's true. But yeah, and then it's also 2 turns of Petrify here. But like, people have been using this to very strong effect against Seaphon, because one of the biggest threats against from Seaphon when you are a newer player is he just hits really hard in the first few turns. Like, he starts with 5 sword shines, and if you're not completely defensed up, he will slap you around in those first couple turns. And so having duress and having that for the first 2 turns is actually huge. Like, the gravity and the petrify are great for early game. They don't really do anything late game, but yeah, Cardinal's Presence is a very good starting skill. The other ones, she has Garnet Fireworks, which is an 8-hit um, nuke. It has a delay on it, which is important for her CA, which activates it automatically, which means that she's very useful in Belial teams when you're taking on Belial for the first few times. She also gives the rest of the team meter when she does it.
Yeah, at level 9 you pay.
Mm-hmm. And then here's Pinpoint Burst. So it gives supplemental damage as a debuff for 3 turns.
30k supplemental.
Yeah, and she also triple attacks for 2 of those turns. And so, this,
Guaranteed. That's
yeah,
the best
this
part.
this whole package, like we've mentioned the raids that she's good against, like that is a good position for a free low grind, well, medium grind, I guess, medium grind character to be in. Like, how big is the heal on her CA?
1,000.
Okay, that doesn't matter then.
No,
It
it doesn't.
exists, but yeah. But
No,
like,
he's the thing that matters the most is that she delays on CA.
she delays on CA, and if the enemy can actually slap you around with normal attacks, or even pre V2 special attacks, this is really good.
Like she can even be on my CA looping team
Yeah, this
because
is
the
this.
give because her CA gives 10% meter.
hmm This is all just really good. Like, she doesn't have things that are tailor made to beat the highest end V2s, but she doesn't need to. Like, that's not for everybody to do, right? Like, she does great work in other places. Um, she does great work in like Arcarum with the ability to delay, the ability to put on gravity, petrify. Like, she can really, really just suppress what an enemy is trying to do.
She can technically be used in one turn setups because she on taking damage, which she most likely will get taking damage.
hmm She does bomb. Yeah, so EX plus, she's very useful as well. Unite and Fight Nightmare. She does not dispel, but she does everything else.
Yeah,
Like,
she can prevent them to getting that CA at the first place until
yeah,
the HP trigger.
yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, this character is going to see a lot of use. Just a lot. Very, very exciting for what'll happen with whichever Xuanwu's constellations is next. I'm guessing we're going to go left to right. Do you think that they're going to just break this order, or do you think they're just going to go
I'm pretty sure
in
left or
order?
right.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for Rise of the Beasts.
Turtle Lady is coming, and yeah, I'm excited for Rise of the Beasts. Turtle Lady, followed
You know,
by
they
Tiger
they just
Lady.
gave us all these free weapons that work with these characters.
Yeah. And so this is great. I really do like what they've done with the place around here. Um, so yeah. Anything else to say about Rise of the Beasts, or we
When's the
good?
next one?
Good question. Next question,
Please
please. Yeah.
don't take as long as Dread Barrage.
Yeah. Especially since like a lot of people are finally in the position where they can just buy all of the soul cores for the outfits. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just finished mine. This
Nice.
Rise of the Beast.
Congrats. Those are fun. Um, all right. That done. Do, 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 do.
No,
That's
I have a
it.
question.
What's up?
Where's Chloe?
We will find out in a night and a half. I am holding any judgment until we get the full cast. As it is, we have a Jiraiya and a Ryosan Gata representative. They added each of those. Chloe represents an older form of fashionable teenager. We'll see if she gets involved in this one. But yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out when they release the fuller cast.
Okay.
That's why I always hold everything until they give the full cast. A lot of the time, people will complain, it's like, "Where's this character?" And then the full cast gets revealed, and they're like, "There, it was right there. The character's
No,
there."
it's not, no. Sometimes if we get to full class, it's like, why is this person here?
Also true. Like sometimes it's very random. Who knows? It is
Yeah,
up to the
why was
writers.
first of all a delinquent? He was
That
there
would,
for one scene. He was
and
literally
it
there for one scene.
he was there for one scene, and then he got a delusion about him, and then we got an outfit because Percival's a popular character.
Oh man, I love going through stats and of popularity. I'm like, this hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, you looked at the relink stats.
Yeah, I'm like, Naru, yeah, yep, yeah,
Cagliostro.
yep,
Zeta was a pleasant member of the top three. Charlotta also being in top five. Like someone was complaining to me, it's like, why isn't anybody using Gondagoza, and yet he's not getting buffed? And it's like the character's really good. We've seen him beat the snot out of everything. It's
yeah. It's
just
just
that
that
people don't want to.
people don't want to play old man.
He's a 7 foot tall old man. There is a very specific version of a Granblue fantasy player who wants to play that. You know, like the character just didn't need to be buffed. He does everything that you want to do. Like, do you remember the video of the four Gondagoza team just like one cycling Bahamut?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was hilarious. Anyway, um, yeah, Relink in 26 minutes is getting its update, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to unlock the new characters. I'm also excited to get my main two characters buffed. Like your main two characters are getting buffed too, aren't they? EO and
EO got a useful button now instead of a useless button
yeah.
because that button sucked.
I mean, Fairy gets things that Fairy players have been begging for since they took away her like gain infinite meter button. A lot of
Or
good
gonna change.
changes.
Or gonna
Yeah,
actually change.
Organ did not actually change. That's true.
That's my other main.
Fair enough. Um, Organ didn't need to change. He's still one of the best characters in the game. Anyway, next week we will have all sorts of things to talk about. We'll have our style and our substance, whatever that gives us, especially character-wise. We'll have
Yeah,
the
when does the gotcha roll over?
the
3 days from now.
is it three?
Three
Two,
days and
three.
22 hours from this broadcast.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. It'll be the 30th of April in JST. Um, we will have the Magna threes, and we'll have Choreogro to talk about. So lots of stuff next week. Less this week. We're still digesting the billions of things we got from the Knickknack Academy. To be perfectly honest, there is so much that we got from that. Look at all this stuff they gave us, DJ. Like all the useful Alex weapons, all the useful Grimnir weapons.
All uncapped too.
Yeah, double Ancient Perseus. Look at this.
I still run 3.
Yeah, this thing makes you absolutely ready for Diaspora. Just having Ancient Perseus. All of these things, just the bounties of actually playing the game. Dang. Anyway, oh, that's right. You do get a Xeno gun out of this, don't you? Sick.
Yeah, that's your Xeno weapons.
Yeah, you get all of the Xeno weapons. Dante is in here.
Granted, you can skip Xeno weapons nowadays.
Yeah, but
And that gets you the EX abilities or AX abilities.
mhm. But yeah, Dante is right here, and Dante is like a staple of mid to late game water. Oh man, there's so much good stuff in this here. All right, anyway, but yeah, great stuff, and we'll see you next time. Yeah.
Laters.